Hey, I want to start my blogging journey. Should I start with free websites like Blogger and Wix, or rather should I go with a paid hosting plan? What is the difference between hosting and domain? Guys, I am receiving questions like this in my mailbox every day, and in this video I will be answering all your queries related to hosting and domain. Now keep watching this video, guys, because after watching this video you will exactly understand what exactly you have to do when you're starting your blogging journey and how you can create your website. Let's get started. Hey guys, my name is Mukesh. You're watching Earning Insight, and if this is your first time here in this channel, make sure to subscribe. Turn on the notification bell because I keep coming back with content related to blogging and Pinterest marketing. So guys, this video is a part of an advanced blogging course which is running on in my channel. If you have not yet watched my other videos, I'll give a link in the I button as well as in the description about the other videos. You can also go and check out other videos. All the videos will increase your knowledge based on blogging. So guys, now the bigger question is, you are all set to start your blog. You want to start blogging, make money out of it. Now what you should do, how you can make your website? Should you go for a Blogger or Wix website, or you will go for a paid version, paid hosting plan? Now guys, one thing you have to understand very clearly is starting a blogging journey is not 1 or 2 days affair. It is like years. It will continue for years if you want to actually do it in the correct way and make money out of it. So you don't want to do it in a way by which after 1 year all your data will be lost. If you start your blogging with the Bloggers or Wix or some of the free websites, I am not against them, but then again you'll face issues sooner or later with these websites, because even after 7 years experience of mine, even today also I land up in a situation where either my website got hacked or I run to a problem which I cannot solve. Then what I used to do is I used to go to the hosting provider. I used to tell them my problem, and within minutes they resolve the issue. So it is very important that if you want to grow your blogging business, if you want to make a career out of it, you have to get ready to invest some dollar into the hosting plan. It is very cheap, guys. I'll tell you which are the best one. So guys, now let me take you to my laptop screen where I'll show you all the details related to hosting, domain and your website.
Alright guys, so I'm in my laptop screen right now. So what we are going to start first is understanding what a domain name means. So domain name is nothing but the name of your website. For example, youtube.com is the domain name of the company YouTube. Facebook.com is the domain name of the company Facebook. I know it is very simple, but still I'm explaining just to make sure that everybody is in the same platform. So guys, the second thing that you have to understand is what is hosting. So guys, hosting is a service that helps to publish your website on the internet by providing space in their server. So what hosting basically means is, when you make your website, you'll store some files in this particular website, in your website. So you need some space in a server to store these files. So just like we are storing our clothes in our cupboard, we need some space, our files need some space in the server to get stored. So what basically hosting providers do is they will provide some sort of space to us, to the normal users, so that we can store our files in their server. In return, they'll charge us some amount of money. Just to make it simple, guys, imagine you want to rent a flat, and the rate of that flat is around maybe $100 per month. And then you actually, there are 3 rooms, those are available in this particular flat, and you don't want to rent all the 3 rooms because you want only 1 room. Now what will you do is, the alternate solution would be you use only 1 room, and in return you want to pay only $33, and you can collaborate with 2 more people who will stay in the rest 2 rooms, and they'll also pay $33. So in this process you will actually use whatever you want, and then you will end up in giving less amount of money. So this is the same concept which the hosting providers use. They basically install the server, and then they will give you hosting space and they'll charge some amount of money from you. So guys, there are a lot of type of hosting facilities are there which are available. The first one is shared web hosting, and then there is cloud based hosting, and then there is dedicated web hosting. So guys, we'll be explaining all this type of hosting in this video. So the first one is shared web hosting. So now let us understand what is a shared web hosting. So guys, shared web hosting means that we are actually buying some space in the server, and then all of the bloggers or all of the people who are buying space are connected to the same server. So for example, if we are buying some space of the hosting company and we are getting connected to that server, then some space in this particular server only I can use and I should use. The rest of the memory or the rest server can be used by other people. So this is basically one of the most common type of share the one of the most common type of web hosting that is being used by bloggers and for the people who are running their individual websites. So if you're trying to start a blogging website, then this is particularly the recommended web hosting that you can use, because it is very cheap, and also you can use the high quality web hostings. Just for example, these web hosting companies will install a large server and you can use this server, so the speed would be good, but you will be using a very less amount of server space, so you will be giving some amount of money to this hosting company. So it will be around $3 to $5. Normally they charge around $3 to $5. So it's very good for beginners and the people who run their e-commerce business. So guys, it can handle a lot of websites. So normally what will happen is a shared web hosting handles hundred and thousand of bloggers website in the same server. So guys, the next type of web hosting is called as cloud web hosting. Now this is a kind of advanced web hosting. This is basically used where the traffic to your website is very high. So if you are targeting around 1.2 million or 1.5 million amount of traffic to your website, then you can use it. I use cloud web hosting for some of my websites. So this is only required if you have very high volume of traffic. So I normally don't recommend this if you're just starting out, or if you're driving around 300-400,000 page views, that shared web hosting would be more than enough for you. This is only required if you have very high amount of traffic coming to your website. Now guys, cloud web hosting is a little bit expensive compared to shared web hosting. It is around $120 to $140 on an average. However, it is really reliable because it is expensive, and the cloud on cloud web hosting you will be directly getting connected to the cloud server. So it is really expensive, but it is highly reliable. Now guys, the next type of hosting is called as dedicated web hosting. Now this particular type of hosting is being used by some of the bigger companies, something like google.com or facebook.com, the companies who have very large amount of traffic generating to their website, something like Amazon or Flipkart. These kind of websites are basically using dedicated web hosting. So you in this particular type of hosting, you actually own this server that you are using. Also, it is not that simple, because once you own a server, then you need people who can work with this server to install and to configure and to troubleshoot all the issues in the server. So this is a very advanced stage, guys. So if you are new to this blogging industry, or if you want to run only your blogging site, then in the next upcoming years you will most probably not see this kind of web hosting, and it is very expensive. So guys, the difference between free hosting and paid hosting is that in the free hosting there is no security of your content. So guys, if you are looking to start your blogging site, then you will be publishing a lot of content, writing a lot of articles, doing SEO, marketing of your blog. You will be spending a lot of time in your blogging journey. So the last thing that you want is someday around 1 and 2 years, when you are starting to get results, somebody actually hacks your website and then you have nothing to do. So that is the last thing that you want, and all your efforts are just gone. You don't want that scenario. So that is one of the problem with with free hosting sites. That is the reason I normally don't recommend the free hosting platforms. However, if you are going for a paid hosting, then in case something wrong happens to you, you can go to the hosting provider and they will basically help you, and they will give your website back. I think, guys, in my experience of last 7 years, I landed in this situation so many times, and you'll not believe how difficult it is when you land up in a situation which you cannot handle. And in this situation, the web hosting companies really can help you. So that is the first difference that these two hosting providers have. Now the second thing is related to what I explained, the support feature. In case you face any difficulty or any downtime in your website, then you can go and ask the paid hosting company, whereas in free hosting there is no support like that. So guys, once you spend so much time and energy in your blogging, and then you drive traffic to your particular website, then you don't want somebody clicks on your link and it is not accessible or it is down. If this kind of thing are happening, then you are actually losing your customer. So in free hosting you don't have any control on that. However, in paid hosting, these things are very very minimized. And also I will be giving you my recommended paid hosting platform where the downtime would be very very less. So the next one would be the installations, the hidden fees. I have heard a lot of time from some of my students that after opting for the free hosting, after 1 year of working on that hosting, they'll be charging a lot of amount of money. So all these things are not there in paid hosting, so it is crystal clear and transparent. And also the limitation to install plugin is there in free hosting. So once you start your blogging website, you have to install a lot of plugins if you want to optimize your site for the best usage. So the free hosting don't come with a lot of plugins installation. However, in paid hosting all the free plugins are inbuilt. Also actually, if you follow me in the upcoming videos, you can install and make your website ready almost instantly. You don't have to do a lot of things. All the plugins, I'll give you a link to all the plugins. You can just download and make it ready within minutes. So guys, the next important factor why I recommend paid hosting is in free hosting, it is actually they are having some limitation to use. For example, you cannot integrate your website with the third party apps. A lot of limitations are there. However, in paid hosting company, you can optimize and you can use your website as per your requirement. There are no limitation up to what you can do and up to what you cannot do. These are basically the things, guys, the reason why I use paid hosting. And one of the key thing that I want to tell you here, that don't think that there is some expense in the paid hosting. There is a very less expense, but trust me, you can recover the expense that you are doing in just a few months if you follow my tutorials correctly. And you can consider this as an investment. If you start any business, it asks for some amount of some amount of investment, and the same way blogging will demand some minor investment. And if you do that, it will be very very beneficial for you in the upcoming time. So guys, this is why I normally recommend paid hosting. So what I recommend you now is, I know there are a lot of paid hosting companies are there, and you must have come across a lot of hosting companies, something like GoDaddy, HostGator, SiteGround, a lot of Bluehost, a lot of companies are there who are providing hosting. So normally what I recommend is, I'll provide a link in the description. What I recommend is SiteGround. I have tried all the hosting companies by now in my last 7 years journey. But what I have seen, guys, SiteGround is just exceptional. SiteGround's support features, speed, uptime, everything is just up to mark. I know a lot of companies actually do advertisement a lot. You'll see advertisement all across the internet and everywhere. But trust me, when it comes to performance, I found SiteGround as the best possible performer in the web hosting. So now I run around 11 websites and all of them are in SiteGround. That is the reason I am suggesting you, because in the later stages I want you to follow me so that you don't land up in a situation of crisis where you will have no support or you will have very high downtime. I don't want you to land in that situation. So now guys, I'll go to once you land in this situation, you can just go in the first link in the description and click on the link, and then you land up this website, and then you just go to the web hosting section. Once you go to the web hosting section over here, you land in a page where you will have these plans. So if you are just starting out, I recommend you to either start up or grow big plan. So this, the major difference between these two plans is that it can handle around 10,000 visitors monthly. However, this grow big plan can handle around 25,000 visitors per month. However, I think some of my students in fact get around 30,000 35,000 visitors to their website with grow big without any major issues. So if you further go more, then we'll recommend this one. But if you are just starting out, I highly recommend to go either the startup plan or grow big plan. It's just $4 and $6 a month, so it will not impact a lot to you. So what you can do is, then you can just go to get plan, and then you can go ahead and buy the hosting. One thing you have to keep in mind, which is very very important guys, is that once you go to this particular page, what you need to understand is that there are different time periods in which this company actually sell you. So always make sure that either you go for 12 month or 24 month or 36 month. I highly recommend to go for 12 month, not more than that, because then you need a lot of money. If you have money, then of course you can go, you can do that. Otherwise what you can do is you can go for one trial months plan. But the problem is here, then you have to pay a lot of taxes to this company. So you see here it is around $5.95 per month, but then the amount of tax that they are charging for 1 month is around $24 or $25 approximately. So it is very very high guys. So I highly recommend you to go for a 12-month plan. So if you see, it's around $71, which is very very affordable, and you can go and then you can buy this plan. And then in the next video we'll tell you how you can set your website ready. I'll take you through how to set up your site, how to choose the domain name. I'll explain you everything in detail in my next videos guys. So make sure you purchase a domain, a hosting, and make sure your website is ready for you in the next video, where we will be assisting you with setting up your website. So guys, I'll see you in my next video. Until then, keep earning, keep learning.